This goad's the goat. Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian and today I'm playing with Killian, Decisive Mentor, a white-black enchantments creature from the Secrets of Strixhaven Precon. Whenever you have an enchantment enter, you can tap and goad an opponent's creature. And whenever any creature that you enchanted attacks, you'll be drawing a card, which means that you can use both offensive auras, things that buff your creatures, protect them, and get you lots of power, and draw some cards off that, and you can also make your opponent's cards terrible, and then force them to attack you, so you draw a card and you can kill those creatures, or just let them suffer in silence by making them into nothing at all. This deck is running a sweet suite of auras, and many of the cards that care about them, even some unconventional auras like Necromancy, because a card enchanted by Necromancy still counts for Killian's abilities. This deck is using a bunch of the white-black cards that either care about auras entering, auras being in play, or auras being cast, getting you a lot of card draw off things like SRAM, or maybe even some tutors for other auras off cards like Light Paws. This deck is also going to be using some strong enchantment creatures, because Killian doesn't care if it's an aura or not, he just cares that you have an enchantment entering, and if you tap and goad all your opponent's creatures, you are left with a free swing at their face with some very good cards. And Conjured and other like artifacts and enchantments that just come into play still count for this. Not artifacts. The only artifact we have in this deck is actually Skateboard, because he's a cool kid who's gonna be hitting you in the face while doing some sick tricks. So let's take Killian into the queue and start aura farming. Raph and Mikey, troublemakers, are gonna be causing an awful lot of problems for me. Unless, of course, they enter the battlefield tapped. I don't have much instant speed removal in this deck, because I wanted this deck to so heavily focus on enchantments. We don't have as many ways to take out Raph and Mikey. But we have some preventative measures, I'll say. Yep, preventative measures that I think will really help out. So I'm going to bring out this Voice of Victory. Rules Signet. Yep, they're gonna ramp, then they're gonna swing at my face, and they're gonna have some baddies. Or some goodies. I'm actually gonna go Victor over Killian here. Victor deals more damage, and Killian does not need to be the one attacking. Also, if I can get multiple enchantments in a turn, we'll get silly with it. Oh, Sweltering Suns. Dang, rip Victor! Okay, I got very slow but kind of silly removal, but we take it. I want to use up my mana, so I will give Killian lifelink. No, Killian, I do not want to tap and goad you. Necromancy. Okay, Necromancy would let me grab Victor. Or if I manage to kill one of their baddies, I can steal it out of their graveyard. That would be so good for me. Migration Path. So they're able to cast it next turn, but I doubt they have a way to remove this and do that next turn. So I want to see what I draw first. Oh, Return Triumphant. I will save this Necromancy in that case. Return Triumphant. Victor, my man. Looking good. And no, I don't want to tap and goad you. Shard Mage's Rescue and Shadowy Backstreet. If I want to throw one of these down, it would make them discard. I think an Emrakul would pop out if they swung it. Oh, they won't get to swing in because of Authority of the Consuls. He enters tapped, they enter tapped. I'd milled the, or surveilled away the back street. And, I guess I will attack first. Get my card draw. I'm actually going to have to make my creatures more vulnerable. So Sporogenic Infection, really weird card, because if my opponent only has one creature, I need to enchant my own creatures. And sure, I'll tap and goad Raph and Mikey. Okay, Luris Griff Spoon. Ooh, okay, so we put that right into the graveyard. Griff's Boon. I'll throw that on Killian. There's nobody here to tap and goad, but we do get to make them discard. Necromancy I could technically actually use as a flash tap trick. If they manage to untap and I don't have removal, it's a very cute way I could deal with that. Okay, let's see. What do I have in the graveyard? I have auras. Sure, tap and goad the thing that wants to attack me anyway. Stram I can play off Luris. And we are going to have to use Necromancy as a trick, because I didn't get another piece of removal. Cultivate. Okay, so yeah, sure, pay the 1. If I had a way to destroy my Esper Sentinel, that would also work. They're getting their lands. Utopia Sprawl. Yeah, you do that, ramping. And before they can attack in, I'm going to cast Necromancy. Now, the creature I bring into play is not going to do anything here. But that's not what I'm here for. The point of Necromancy is to stop the Raph and Mikey from being able to attack me. And it works as well as you could possibly imagine. Mythweaver Hawk, the most I can do is take away his abilities, but his abilities are very, very good. Mythweaver Hawk is one of those cards that, before we had Rafellos, was the big bad of big green. Doubling up your lands, getting you tons of ramp, and being just a gigantic creature on top of everything else. Use this Bloodstained Mire to surveil. What I don't have in this hand is a creature to put auras onto, like positive ones, until turn 3, at which point, like, I'm playing Killian anyway. Flowering of the White Tree is good, but it is not what I want right now. I want to make sure that I am, getting out some critters, removing things, because their threats are going to be very real. Okay, an Arcane Signet means, yes, they could play Pawk next turn, but I don't think they would want to. I'm gonna bring out this Arid Mesa. If I wanted to cantrip, I could use Rune of Mortality. I don't think I want to. Oh, Scraps, do you want to play with some auras? Honey, you're always aura farming. I've seen you. You sit so preciously, so perfectly. Yeah, you. Come on up. That is a thing that dies to nowhere to run. I want to maximize my fixing at the cost of life here. There we go. Tireless Provisioner, you have nowhere to go and nowhere to run. And this is my kitty cat, Scrap. She likes to be a part of videos. Yes, she does. She just roofed at me. There you go, honey. I think Enduring Innocence before Killian, because it doesn't matter who has the aura. As long as something has an aura on it, then we'll be able to get the trigger with Killian. Hello, girl. Let's see if they want to just play Pawk and then drop a land. I certainly can't stop it. Good kitty, yeah. She just ate a couple kibbles. She's looking very fluffy. She wants to have a treat. She's very, very neat. Rampant Growth. So instead of playing Pawk, maybe they don't have a land in hand. They're just going for another mana here. They still have 3 mana up, though. Okay. I can Planar Disruption a Signet, but that feels pretty useless to me. I'll use Rune of Mortality. Actually, I'll just play Killian and see what I draw. Because Enduring Innocence is very good at getting me to draw off my little guys. Ah, Authority of the Consuls. Not in aura, but still really nice. Yeah, I'm not goading anything, Killian. Why are you like this? Stop asking me to goad my own creatures. Kami of Bamboo Groves will guarantee they have more lands in their hand. 2 forests. Generated by channeling. Here comes Pop. Oh, who's an itchy girl? Who's an itchy girl? And we're going to want to remove Pock's ability and goad him. 2 things I can do. Because that way, they won't be able to, like, have him block. Okay, 3 mana up. I will turn Pock into a reprobate. In response, they're gonna get the maximum value out of this dude. I wish I could stop that, but I can't. That gets them 2 more untapped lands. So now they have all the mana in the world and more. This is goaded. I want to make sure I'm also getting the triggers off you 2. So I am going to put Radiant Grace onto Killian. Yeah, sure. Just keep goading. See what I draw. Ooh, a perfect crocodile. That's nice for the future. And I'll also use the Rune of Mortality this turn just to, you know, use my mana, use it for the cantrip. You can have Death Touch. Just keep goading that thing. And that will draw me a card on their turn because Hawk, the 0/1, has to attack. All right, Scraps, you want a little treat? Oh, that is so dangerous. If Pock dies with Ashaya in play, and then they replay Pock, or say they Earthbend onto him, and then he comes back, they'll enter into an infinite loop. Ah, man! I won't get to draw, because they could sacrifice Pock. Oh, never mind! They did not realize that because Pock is a land, they could sacrifice him. We're good. Got you on a treat? You're so good. Yum, 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 yum. Currently, nothing too crazy to bring back. Would I rather Planar Disruption the Ashaya? Or Flowering for a little more damage? I'm gonna just attack, see what I get. Gemstone Cavern. Planar Disruption on the Ashaya. They'll still get the passive. I want to continue to goad Pock. And I'm playing Laris. Yeah, Scraps, you want to go pull Essica's Chariot? You could not convince this cat to pull a Chariot. No. So cute, though. Such a good little scritcher cat. Ashaya still has all her abilities. She just can't be tapped for mana, right? Yeah, can't be tapped for mana because that's an activated ability, sort of, or a mana ability. This has to attack. We draw. Take 0 damage. And these are their 2 blockers, but it looks like we're going to be winning here. I'm able to tap down their last 2 blockers, increase my damage a huge amount with Flowering of the White Tree. Oh yeah. That is victory, and it tastes so sweet. Aang at the Crossroads. The Crossroads will be bearing a lot of clones. This Aang deck is typically flickering and cloning Aang to get a lot of Aangs into play. They also have some counter spells, kill spells, things that are good, a little ramp, because of the colors that they're in. We're going to surveil here. Nowhere to run. I could probably use some additional removal. I would say Demotion is pseudo removal here, but if they play like, I don't know, a Mana Dork, I want to be ready for it. I could play Mothlight Processionist here. No, I do not want to demote my own Mothlight Processionist. That, I mean, it would be pretty funny, but it's not what I want right now. 4 mana, still 1 away from Aang. This Aang just gets you a creature. It's kind of like the Collected Company. It gets you a creature that costs 4 or less from the top cards of their deck when it enters. Badgermole Cub! Okay. Interesting. I think I'm going to demote the Meticulous Archive. Play this freshly generated Mothlight Processionist. And have the Bloom Tender unable to run. He has nowhere to run. Oh, they are blinking it to dodge the removal. You know what's nice about that is it means that the Ephemerate will not be used on this, but it means that they will be able to save their Meticulous Archive here, knocking the aura off of it. It will re-enter tapped, but now it's a lot harder for me to like start drawing cards off the Killian, because the auras that we're gonna use is gone. I have ways to play that from the graveyard. This only taps for 1 mana, but Badgermole will add an additional. So here comes Aang. Uncounterable. You don't really have to worry about that when I'm tapped out. And a Tidebinder. No, you don't want to be stopping your own auras, or your own abilities, sorry. I'm the auras guy. I could go for a full cost Overlord. Sure. I like Overlord of Baelmerk. I think it's awesome. See what I can grab from the graveyard. The Mothlight Processionist, SRAM, and Luris, who can grab the rest of those. Even though having a blocker is good, I want to protect the Overlord of the Baelmerk and also reward me for attacking on future turns. So I'm going to convoke the Kaya's Ghost form onto it right there, and now these will go to the graveyard. Boop, 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 boop. Great. Reflector Mage, that is legally not an exile or a kill. I bounce it to my hand, the ghost form goes to the graveyard. Ooh, did I really get my ghost? Good kitty, you are so good. I'm going to tap 3 black mana for Luris. Yes, hello there. I would like to demote your creatures. Sure. I can't cast this turn because of Reflector Mage's text. But I could reanimate something. Sure, I'll reanimate something. Just for the heck of it. Should have done it in the other order since I'm probably getting SRAM. Not one of the dozen Moonlight Processionists. A lot of corpses in there. Okay, we discard all of these extra Mothlights. We're cracking the Scalding Tarn. The reason I demoted Aang is so he can't block and then be recast. Taking a bit of a beating. But since I have this Angelic Procession, hopefully I'll be able to get some other goodies out here. I will start by casting that. I will put it onto the thing with Lifelink, and I'll tap the 2 Moonlight, whatever's, and the SRAM. There we go. That'll gain me some good stuff. It looks like they're ready to give up. No Killian needed, just some good aura value. Donatello and Mikey. I've never actually seen this partner pair used before. Donatello will make you tokens plus extra tokens, some mutagen, and this Mikey makes you food and puts +1/+1 counters if you've attacked. Scraps, are you done? She's like, I don't like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Just to guess though, it's probably like Simic good stuff because they just dropped a cameo. But she does make tokens, you know, that fits in. Maybe it's like an artifact token scales brew. I feel like I'm so used to seeing Leonardo with Mikey, but not to be confused with the card called Leo and Mikey, which is also a scales card. Okay, Tameo's getting buff. Huh. Okay, girl. Got 3 lands in the graveyard. And here's Light Paws. Is Killian doing his best? Yes. His best is okay. Oh god, that is an Academy manufacturer. You make food, you make clues. That's about to be a lot of treasures. Okay. Mm-hmm. Hey, Scriv. Bye, Scriv. That's scary. Yeah, Academy Manufacturer is... I feel like it falls under the list of, like, cards that shouldn't exist. There are many broken things you can do with this card. Not you, with this. Whenever you make a clue, a food, or a treasure, you get all of those. Which turns your clue and food generation, which tends to be like pretty accessible since they need mana and they're like not that big unless you have the mana to activate them, into also treasures, which get you the mana. Also, game objects aplenty. If you have something like Urza. It's probably just too late for me, considering that I'm kind of missing on the mana front here. I will Aang's Iceberg, the manufacturer, but I think it's too late. Yeah, get yourself another counter. It's one of your favorite design abominations? Yes, absolutely. Because somebody will probably ask, Amy, do you have a board wipe in this deck? I don't want to talk about it. I'm in Aura's deck. Oh! Well, rise and shine, everyone! They're winning the game! Scraps, if only you were here to see this, to see me losing to the turtles. And a fine -42 ending life total. GG. Leovold, Emissary of Trust, is unfortunately going to be able to prevent me from drawing additional cards. So we'll just have to get the beat down on by hitting them with, well, all of these. I have an Enlightened Tutor here, which I could technically use on, like, turn 1 to get something to deal with Leovold. I think that's fine enough. Let me first just see what we got here. That works just fine. I think with getting the 3rd land here, I feel a lot less pressured for using the tutor. And I have Pariah! That gives me a funny way to kill Leovold. Howling Mine? Oh, because if he's out, we don't get to draw. Okay. Toot toot. I'll make sure I get something that can hit that. Ideally one thing that is also an aura. How about Shelter by Ghosts? Always good. I could have also grabbed Nowhere to Run, a way to kill Leovold. But I'm not playing Killian first. I'm gonna bring out the Barragoyf. The sort of must-kill, must-respond-to card we all crave. Yeah, listen, I'll also just, like, get rid of Leovold. Because you know what he is? A punk. Alright, so I don't get to draw the extra card. Here comes Killian. I'm going to shelter the Baragoyf. And yeah, let's take out Leovold. They will get to draw a card on targeting. I could also just, like, goad him, but that doesn't do much. Yes, draw a card. I wish I could draw a card. That's why I'm getting rid of you. So I can draw cards. It also would have been fun if I used the thing that turns him into a coward with no abilities. Yes, of course I would like to do that. Core Spirit Dancer, great card advantage. But against them, I need counterspell protection. Voice of Victory. Come save me. Hopefully no board wipes. Somebody's asking, why is Killian matching into Leovold? There's just a lot of Leovolds out there. Turns out that if you ban a card in Commander and it's good, people are going to be like, ooh, what a fine opportunity for me to make some friends by playing my good pal Leovold. All right, so I have to put an upkeep stop here. So the Howling Mine is at the draw step. So we can technically, like, draw once and then do it. But I'm just going to go ahead and hit them now. No draw step. No problem. Leovold, you're gone. Please go away. I would like to draw cards. How come you get to draw cards? Why does your mom let you have card draw? I'll see what I draw. I get double draws thanks to Howling Mine. You have 9 cards in hand. All right, what do we got here? Ooh, Overlord. And Verdant Catacombs. Nice, that gives me lots of options. Because I have the Baragoyf in the graveyard, I can get that back with the Overlord. I could also play Luris to set up to grab those, but I'd rather do that next turn when I have a little more mana. I do not have any auras that I want to throw onto Killian. Yes, thank you, Howling Mine. You're really cool sometimes. No, I don't want to tap and goad my own Killian. Game, that's... Oh, but I could play Tony Bones right now! And then I can steal Ice Till Explorer! Yes. All according to plan. Killian, get in there. Great job, honey. Are you just gonna play Leovold again while you have 10 cards in hand? Okay, so they're exiling Killian, but letting me draw a card. Thank you! See, here I was afraid I wasn't gonna get card draw. Extra cards, extra cards. I will start by swinging in with Tiny Bones. Charlie to Strike, thank you for the 69-month resub. Nice. Hi. Mother, may I? I would like to cast the Ice Till Explorer from your graveyard. Noted they would not like me to cast it from their graveyard. That's a shame. I wanted that. I felt I deserved it. I'm gonna play Hala Hala Get Haunting. I will bring out Ariette on the rest of my mana. And next turn, Auras Abound. Yeah, they burned a counterspell on something that's... It was just the triggered ability rather than the spell itself. And also, I could just get it next turn. Yeah, if you have Ariette here, the goad does nothing because the enchanted creatures can't attack you if you, like, say, throw Reprobation on them. There's plenty of ways to make them so they can't block, because the tap part of Killian's ability is really nice. Alright, cool. And we win! Howling Mine backfired for them, and I love that. Uharis the Storm Spinner is very scary to me because he's got triple strike. He's able to counter things, burn my small creatures before I can even cast my auras, and I'd say generally is one of the best Brawl or Dual Commander commanders. It's one of those cards that, sure, you can't play it early, but you don't need to because you have so many other good spells you can use on those early turns, and then, gosh, for like 3 mana, this thing can deal so much damage. Because it's a 2 mana plus the, anything that gives it the +3/+0 in haste. There's 2 different cards that do it, like Wild Ride. Yeah, Killian is very different in a 1v1 battle. I'm going to play the Killian. And yes, that will let me play Reprobation if this resolves, but I have nothing to reprobe. Reprobate? You are a reprobate, so would it be reprobing? I just don't know. SRAM. There's a lot of counter spells that a lot of these tempo decks run that tax for just 1. That's why I played the land first. I'm going to use an aura. And curse you, Uharis! Spider-Man 2099. Guess what? They added those cards in, and you can name one to get the other. By the way, this person has intentionally assigned Uharis as their art. This is one of those things where if you want to use the universes within version of the cards, you have to go manually set them as like your favorite art for the cards. Because they added all of them into Arena. Yeah, which is cool. I'll play yeah, Fear of Ridicule over Killian here. I guess I probably should have played Arid Mesa as the land so I could fetch and surveil. Yeah, I personally set like 5 different cards to be the universes within because I prefer their art to the Spider-Man arts. Okay, very charming. Fear of Ridicule returns to my hand. I mean, this feels fair as a 4 cost creature. Fear of Ridicule again. This is the card that I want to be hitting them more than I want Killian to be hitting them. If I wanted to go for Killian, the one thing I'd be able to do is like tap things before they attack down. But I'm able to protect either of these using Shard Mage's Rescue. And I'd rather have the aura on this because this is the thing I want to be hitting with. An Oliphant? Is it a Uharis time? Flame Slash. I will attempt to protect this using Shard Mage's Rescue. Hexproof this turn, +1/+1 permanently. And an aura so I can draw cards off Killian. Why are you fetching? Got a lightning bolt to follow up? Probably. No, they are casting the cost rather than exiling a card from hand to force of will this to kill Fear of Ridicule. They really do not want me taking cards out of their deck. Well, what we got? Fine. It'll stop this from attacking me. Here's Killian. Authority. And no, please don't goad yourself. They hate crab. They do hate crab. I need to hit, like, a Uharis or whatever. Alright, they drew a card. And they're not casting their commander. Okay, I'm gonna try to get my commander to do the thing that he does, but this is one of the many problems with auras is they are an extremely fragile strategy, especially in 1v1. Man, that hurts. Hey, remember how I was playing around them taxing things for 1 before? Vindicated. Vindicated. They draw 2 cards because they only had 1 in hand. I think it's better to just like Aang's Iceberg that. And I think do it now while they only have 2 mana up, since I think they're less likely to be able to stop it. Ooh, Uharis. Normally I actually wouldn't sacrifice Curse of Silence against a card like a Uharis, but I really need to find stuff. Okay, that's a very cute one-off removal. Look at to deal 2 damage to any target. Nice ooze. Do you want to buff him up? You can use your ooze this turn. My crabs! You get to deal 3 damage. Okay, Return Triumphant, since they just used that, would allow me to grab SRAM. That's card advantage. I will take it. SRAM. Uharis is a reprobate. Black Market Connections lets me pay life and draw cards. There's only so much, you know, enchantment-based card draw that I want to use, and here's some of it. And I'm using it. So Uharis now won't be dealing the damage. Almost dropped my tea over here. Good for me. I love Black Market Connections. Yeah, okay, that's fair. So they're going to bounce Uharis back into their hand. But Uharis was played from their hand and not from exile, meaning they will not get the 2 damage here. Unless they play something else from exile. And they didn't. Awesome. I'm paying the 6. Okay, if I play Killian here, I get a card draw. Do I want to bother with killing a Uharis? It's like a little risky. I'm gonna go for Killian card draw. Okay, actually I'm not. I will make my SRAM grow by attacking in, because he's a young hero. Ignore that he's an old man. Also, I think SRAM died in the Phyrexian Invasion, which is kind of sad. You may as well choose to ooze. Grabbing Killian this time. Consulting the star charts. They're kicking it. Probably looking for ways to trigger that extra damage or set up to trigger that damage. Because turning a Uharis into removal is just so strong. At least he can't attack on the turns he comes out thanks to the power of authority. Ooh, they bolted in Soporific Springs. Not gonna wait to hold that to bounce my stuff or their own. Okay. I don't want to take 6, so I'll chump block. Well worth paying the 3 life. I don't have a problem, you have a problem. Once again, going to try to get Killian out. And Planar Disruption on their commander. They're gonna bind the tides. They're going to disable SRAM? Okay, so SRAM doesn't draw me a card, but the Planar Disruption is still gonna hit. Uharis, you are now just a passive piece. I can't block, so I'll go the Tidebinder instead. SRAM swings in, gets a +1/+1 counter, draws me a card. What? It still has the passive. It can still deal the direct damage. It just can't attack me. Choose to ooze. Lorien revealed. They draw 3. You think this is just confirmation that Killian is the least threatening creature in the deck? Hey, he's not the worst. He's just very designed for multiplayer. Okay, so they're gonna ooze up the Tidebinder. Gonna do it one more time. So I feel like double blocking. Huh. Don't block. I don't have lethal swinging in. How much would area be getting me? 2 life? It's getting risky for me to go for all of them. And yet... I don't have a problem. I know what I love in this world. All right, I'm gonna destroy the Tidebinder, tap and go to Harris. Enjoy your ooze. See what I draw. Ooh, sheltered by ghosts. I can use that to draw right now. But none of these are really what I'd want to be hitting. I would just be using this to, like, protect Killian. If I put it on SRAM, I get to draw because of Purlier's ability. Wait a minute, modified permanent. You're modified, you're modified. I'm actually going to protect Primal Odin. Keep tapping and going. Oh, whoops. I targeted the wrong thing with that. I was gonna hit the ooze. I mixed up my things. That's fine. They'll lose 2 instead of 3. Go back up to 10. I meant to get rid of that, but it looks like we're fine. Auras took down Uharis. Hei Bai, Forest Guardian. He is going to be springing in shrines whenever he enters. And there's 2 main versions of Hei Bai that I'll be running into. Hei Bai can either be actual enchantments and shrines themed, oftentimes with a little bit of blink, or, and this is where it gets just really annoying, Hei Bai can also just be a control deck that uses Hei Bai as a way to get more card advantage, which can't say I'm a fan of. Yeah, the fact that they're playing all these triumphs tells me they're probably actually 5-color shrines. Thank goodness. Alright, light pause. And we're going to share the love. I'm going to put the Rune of Sustenance onto Starfield Mystic. It has resolved, which means Light Paws is now going to tutor an aura for herself. And I think all that glitters is typically what I want. If there was something removed, it'd be sheltered by ghosts. I also like ghost forming here. Yeah, let's just protect Light Paws with a ghost form. Since Light Paws is one of the few, like, tutors in my deck. I guess I technically could have used, like, the Cartouche to do that instead. Or Radiant Grace. Okay, it's time for the bear! Bear with them as they search for a Fountain of Infinite Rage. So yep, a little bit of Blink, but mostly enchantment stuff. It's the weaker version of Hei Bai, but I would so much rather play against it. Okay, let's Light Paws. Grab some ethereal armor. Big Light Paws. This is removal. It's weird removal, but it's removal. Fountain of Infinite Rage takes out the token. It can only deal 1 damage because they only have 1 shrine. Fountain of Seeing Winds will draw them 2 cards a turn. But they had to actually cast it instead of just cheating it into play. So I'll take it. Okay, this is going to seem weird, but we're going to put Sporogenic Infection onto the Starfield Mystic. This is a negative aura. If this takes damage, it dies. But it gets rid of the bear. I can also just, like, tap the bear, but I want to cast a 2-mana aura here. Yes, I would like a bigger, better aura so I can maybe end the game here. All that glitters. If they have Swords to Plowshares, that would work. But I don't think they do. Ashling Rekindled, I believe, can discard cards, draw cards, and then make them mana to ramp up into the goods. I have Demotion, Sarah Paragon Skateboard, nothing to enchant until I bring out Killian, and I'm missing a color. So I'm going to throw that back, get this instead. I got Light Paws, she's awesome in this deck. Feather of Flight. Feather of Flight with Light Paws lets me also grab a Protective Aura, which is cool. Overlord for some card advantage, and a fine turn 1 in the form of Authority of the Consuls. I don't think Ashling cares about being tapped or not. She just wants to be in play. Because I assume they're just going to use this to ramp into, like, big Prismari spells. We'll see what they discard. Hydroelectric Specimen, that tells me nothing! And as much as I'd like to play Light Paws here, I feel like Overlord is safer. What am I feeling? I'm gonna go for the Overlord. Start that clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did hit something. I hit Scriv. Ashling has transformed. If they play a land, they could play a 4-mana card. It's a long shot. Casting non-creature spells lets them deal direct damage. So yeah, they're definitely doing something stormy over here. I don't have enough mana to play Light Paws and an Aura or Killian and attack in with something. So yeah, Aang's Iceberg at sorcery speed. And I'm going to hit Ashling because she's the one that's going to give them the mana to cast the spells to get the extra goodies off of Longshot. Longshot was a really fun commander to build, by the way. If you're looking for, like, a surprisingly strong, uncommon to build as your commander for a mono red storm, Longshot's really good. Just swinging in for 3. Cool. Did not get Did not get a land. Killian. Killian, just sit there for me. Chandra, Hope's Beacon. Already at the big scary cards. They could -3 to kill Killian and deal 3 to my face. Or they could plus and use her to double up a spell. Nah, looks like they're just, I'm gonna kill your commander. Great, that's fine.
You're toast.
I am toast. Toast and toasted. A bog. Sad little Ariette. Take away their graveyard. In one more turn cycle, at the end of my turn, this will become a creature. Hey, it's a land. Yeah, it's a tapped land. A very good tapped land.
Have a gift.
Emeritus of Ideation gives them access to Ancestral Recall. You want to draw 3? Damn, Skippy, you do. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to draw 6? Chandra's doing Chandra things. I want to draw 6 for 1 mana. That seems good. How do I get to do that? Okay, the answer is I don't. Black and white, light paws.
Here's the spark of hope.
It's a bird. Okay, good bird. If I used one of the auras on long shot, I could stop him from blocking. But I think this is a better way to pressure a block. Okay, cool. It's like, no, they want to keep it alive. Look at all that mana. Adding 2 more, that gives them 9 mana and a discount. Okay, expropriate. Cool. They're gonna get to take one of my permanents. And then they're gonna take 3 extra turns or something, because it gets doubled. Two of these. Yep. You want to grab Ariette? No, bird. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I'm just dead right here, because that's 8. GG, Ashling. Quandrix, the Proof, a cascading commander that causes your other instants and sorceries cast from hand to also cascade. I've got a discount, 2 actually discounts on my auras. I have a pretty cool enchantment, Primal Odin, and I've got the belief that maybe we can remove Quandrix's ability and they won't take infinite extra turns and kill me. Maybe. We'll see. I'll go for the Starfield Mystic instead of just reprobating a bird. I need to save some of this removal because I have very few ways to deal with Quandrix. Always reprobe the bird. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's the philosophy here. They get a land. Play Killian. This one, not this, the other one. Oh, does someone have a counter spell? Now I'm gonna hit this. What do you got? I don't know what they're sitting on here. Could be like a subtlety or a force or something along those lines. Arboreal Grazer. Aww. It's so cute, though. Now I have a bunch of discounts. So I can go Killian. And with great power comes great responsibility. You can also change this to not be Spider-Man art if you want. Alright, so I want to tap and goad the reprobated Birds of Paradise. So I'll draw on their turn if that attacks in and Killian is still in play. Your mom lets you have 2 Killians? Yeah, so I can Killian my opponent. By the way, this is also like a pariah effect. All damage that would be dealt to me is instead dealt to Killian. They cascade into Archdruid's Charm. Oh, are you going to get rid of this or just ramp? Or tutor? Because you can tutor. No, they're gonna get rid of with great power. Okay. It's chosen by Valgavoth is the other version of this. No, they're gonna free the bird. So yes, it does have to swing if they don't tap it for mana, but I can't block it. Fine. Well, I'm going to summon Odin, or try to. You still have something at instant speed, and I don't know what it is, and it makes me very uncomfortable. It was Subtlety. Okay, so Subtlety can hit this because it is a creature. We're going to definitely keep it on top of the deck, though. And I just have to hope that the card in their hand and the card they draw are not, like, extra turns or anything. I can swing in with Killian, but he'll absorb 1 hit from Quandrix. Because all damage that would be dealt to me will instead be dealt to Killian. Oh, nope, it was an extra turn spell that cascades into Utopia Sprawl, giving them more attacks and more mana. At least they didn't cascade into something scarier. Just let me Odin a guy. Look at how cool it is. Yeah. He got bigger. Being tapped out used to mean something once upon a time. Yes, it did. Come on, just be a land. Just be a land. Lands aren't that scary. Besides, if I kill Quandrix, they'll just do it again. Oh, they were using Mystical Archive. They can take the card that it generated, so it's any of these. But I don't know which they got until they play it, so we're starting. Oh. Okay. So they are not running the rhinos. And they're like, you know what? I can just kill my commander because you're going to kill it anyway. Okay. Sure. I will destroy Birds of Paradise. I'm going to tap and goad the Arboreal Grazer. And swing with both the Starfield Mystic and Killian. Next turn, they'll need to block Primal Odin, but that's pretty easy to do. Unless they tap this, which I can hope. Ooh, Tameo. Tameo's able to recur Temporal Manipulation, but they can't cast it this turn. I really hope I get a second Aura, because then I actually win the game. Which any enchantment will win me the game. It's an enchantment. Okay. have to tap and goad Quandrix. And at least I'll be able to, like, make the Mana Confluence die. Because they have to block this. And that means I can direct just Killian here and this over here.
Our time together is finished.
And now I get to die. Because they have 14 damage. And a temporal manipulation to make it happen. Sorry, make that 16 damage. They glimpse the core. Wow, my favorite movie. The Core. About where they go into the core to reverse the earthquake-making machine. Yup. We all know that one, right? The Core? Please stop searching. You have lethal. Ashling rekindled. Got obliterated by one of these before, but this time I'm ready to get lands. That's not actually probably going to help me that much since I'm going first, but I'll have it, and eventually they'll probably get more lands than me because this deck does not run that many lands. Ooh, people in chat are talking about their coffee brewing because I'm making a second cup right now. French press is so easy. That's why, like, so many times I'll be like, I'm having 4 people over. I'm not going to do pour over for all of them. We French pressin'. All right, I milled, but I did not hit any creatures or planeswalkers. There's no planeswalkers in the deck. And here comes Ashling. They discard, they'll draw. And next turn, they can pay 1 to flip her over to get 2 mana. And I'm just going to keep milling myself. I do not actually have any auras here. I could technically hit Ashling with Aang's Iceberg, but I don't think that's the important target here. Because it's only net 1 additional mana. And it's only for something that costs exactly 4 on this turn. The Riddler. Yeah, it's my snack time. Ice cream and coffee. Very good snacks. So the Riddler, you can warp using her mana because it costs 5 mana. Like, that's its mana value. Even though the ability is only 2. Alternate casting cost. Shucks, if it works, it works. I don't have any auras, so I will lead with a Goyf swing. Unless... Are they gonna stop it? They're just gonna block. Okay. Ooh, Aeropress. Aeropress is like halfway between pour over and French press. You get through a filter. It works. All right, so they're searing at instant speed. Are there already instants in the graveyard? There are not. Barragoyf is now getting an additional power and toughness. This is going to get out of the graveyard, so it will just be 1. But that means it survives. Good old Goyf math. It would have died otherwise, by the way, but it would have died to Ashling's 1 damage. Yeah, it would have died to this, but I'm like, this way I get to keep this alive. That's awesome. This card's so stupid. This and, like, Pyrogoyf are such good cards. I imagine Pyrogoyf might be in their deck, too. Excuse me? Hey, Pyrogoyf. I'm just gonna move you out of the way. I'm a prophet. Driven of the great knowledge of the Goyfs. Enduring Innocence. I'll play the Core Spirit Dancer. I might just die. By the way, I don't really feel I needed to get rid of it there, but I wanted to make sure that it was out of the way. Baragoyf only grows. Swing in, keep milling. Overlord to Belmerk, super ready as well to start milling me. That's a Pearl Ear. I'm going to play Enduring Innocence into Killian to draw a card if I can. Of course, Spirit Dancer does have cool artwork. Have they reprinted this in like a secret lair or anything with new art? Because this is the only art I ever think of for it. Strifall, show me Core Spirit Dancer art. Oh, it's gotten a bunch of different printings. But just one alt art from the first Wilds of Eldraine. Okay, cool. Wilds of Eldraine had a version that they reused in the Secrets of Strixhaven Commander. I'll bring this up. You guys know what I'm talking about? I feel like they kept the vibe of, like, woman surrounded by kind of spirit beings. But I think that the original... Yeah, I think this one's cooler. I like it more. Yeah, it's like the totem umbras. Umbra armors, whatever you're calling them. Those things. Oh, hey! We won! By the power of Goyfs. Another Aang at the Crossroads. I have a very mono-white hand, which is tough because I can't cast Killian off it, but I still think it's worth it. This Aang, hopefully unlike the other one, is going to be churning through their deck to make copies of Aang to blink him. The last one, they ended up getting tons of mana-producing creatures and nothing else, which is great for me, but it meant that the game ended a little too soon. Alright, Aang at the Crossroads now costs 7 mana. They gotta rely on all their other enter the battlefield value. Yes, curses. Curses against Aang. Hopefully I'll, I don't know, draw a swamp. It would be nice. You're not a swamp. Ossification lets me exile a creature or planeswalker. If they play, like, I don't know, Mana Dork. I guess Enduring Innocence. It gets discounted by Richard Starfield over here. And then I'm going to put this onto Starfield Mystic to try to get more damage, and a 1/1 token to draw a card. But auras are very vulnerable to removal. They airbend away the Starfield Mystic, and my alarm goes off. Ah, and I was too late. This is not the order that draws me cards, but it's the order that lets me play both this turn. You checked your phone. Sorry. Yeah, I found black mana. Let's go. Fenrir, Aang, Guardian. Killian. Draw me a card. Ossification. Most of these have good enter the battlefields, but they're still worth hitting. I think I'm gonna hit the Guardian or Aang. And I will tap and goad Fenrir so I can swing in this turn. And I could keep this back as something to block that, since this dies and comes back. I think that would also trigger the Starfield Mystic. Hold up. Yeah, because it goes to the graveyard and then comes back. Nice! It does work! Cool, cool, cool! Oh, sure, I'll tap and goad Aang. They're stuck on mana, I think. Oh, they got 4 off this, though. I imagine that most of their creatures cost 4 or less, because then Aang can get them. Thassa will be blinking Aang, which means that they can airbend one of these baddies. I'll get another black mana source. Wait. I have the Cartouche in the graveyard. Good enough for me. Sarah Paragon. Cartouche of Solidarity. I'm actually going to put it onto Sarah. Sarah's Paragon. Tap and goad Aang to try to get it to slam into my first striking Angel. Draw a card off Enduring Innocence. Get some damage in. Nice. And they're blinking, because that way they got to cast that at a discount. My Sarah Paragon is Sarah gone. Might have to get rid of that Thassa soon. Starfield Mystic. Draw a card. It is a land. I'm gonna grab a duel here. Godless Shrine. Sorcery speed, Aang's Iceberg. No, I'm not putting Aang into his Iceberg. I'm putting Thassa into the Iceberg. And then Black Market Connections. Sure. Can't wait to pay life. It's gonna be so fun. If this guy gets airbent, then I don't pay the commander cost, but I have to deal with everything else. All their enter the battlefields are doubled. Pay 6 life. I don't think I want to do that. But what if I did it anyway? I'm just gonna draw a card. These are not what I crave. Luris, but nothing to bring back. See if I can surveil something into the graveyard. I did. Radiant Grace. Okay. Goading you. Drawing another card. I'm goading this to guarantee that I'll have something slamming into Luris, because Luris has lifelink. Sure, I'll also tap and goad the Extraction Specialist. Oh, I will sacrifice Curse of Silence. Firing of the White Tree. Cool. Recruiter. Wait a minute. I'm wondering if there was like a cute lethal line despite the goad of water bending all of the goaded things on the ground so I can't gain life. No, because this doesn't fly. That doesn't work. Dang. Oh, which enchanter? This one? Seriously, this enchanter? Okay. Gives them the end step blink. They have to attack. Aang will transform. They get to blink him though, but they won't get double ETBs, just a single. Vivisa gets a land. I think you guys know what I'm planning on doing. It's gonna be fun. Wait. Paying 6? No. Summoning the Stabadile. Tap and goad, tap and goad, tap and goad. Win the game. Looking good. Slimefoot and Squee going to be bringing back their friends from the graveyard by sacrificing a sapling, which they make on enter or attack. They're saying, hey, hi. I'm gonna surveil. I have a SRAM and then auras for SRAM. Perforator Crocodile, get into the graveyard. If I find one of my reanimation spells, it's stabbing time. Oh boy, I love stabbing time. One of my absolute favorite times a day. Maximum fixing. Against Slimefoot and Squee, I'm actually a little worried about removal, so I'm gonna play Flowering of the White Tree first. Nice, and I got a mana. Perfect. SRAM, protected with that ward. Rift's Boon to draw a card. SRAM now flies. SRAMtron, go! SRAM's like an alternate commander for this sort of strategy. But doesn't have black in the cost, so not as cool. No, I ain't blocking. I want SRAM to stick around. Nice. I'll name Human on this. And since I already have a card draw engine, I don't really feel like I need to be goading, because like they can just sacrifice whatever they whatever is forced to attack in. Alright, look at their graveyard. I'm gonna start with Mothlight Processionist. A Cartouche, put it on SRAM, tapping the Mothlight Processionist. You have many goblins that you can sacrifice. Many goblins. And I want that goad next turn for sure. If I play this other Mothlight Processionist, I'm not able to Rune of Mortality here. Do I feel like that's fine though? I feel like that's fine. I feel like just having another 3/3 against them will be good. And I'll leave SRAM back since that first strike should make him really good. Real strong, real strong. I have my coffee brewed, yes. Hello there. I don't need to force you to goad. we block, they sacrifice it, and I will lose a life. There is not a thing in their graveyard right now that I'm worried about. But at like 1 mana, they could, I don't know, put a big troll in there from Lord of the Rings. Or maybe they're just gonna take down my life total and wipe the board. Why did they sacrifice? Oh, because they're gonna bring back the Sling Gang with it. You can sacrifice yourself? All right, that's cute. It's in my graveyard. Still that beautiful crocodile. Amy, iron that croc. Casting the rune on Stram. Stram is my aura holder. Is my aura farmer. I will tap and goad the Sling Gang Lieutenant. Cool, a land. I'm actually gonna ghost form Killian, since I can bring back Stram really easily off this, and he costs a little more. Tapping and goading, I don't know, Elvish Mystic. They can tap it for mana first. Next turn, that might actually give me one heck of a swing. I'll just sit here. Discarding these. Yeah, with great power comes great power. Not great responsibility. I have 3 auras already on it, so we'd get +8/+8. Nice Blood Witch. That's going to be able to deal 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 damage. Oh, wait. 16 damage. Sheesh. Okay, great. We want the first strike on Sling Gang, this over here, and this over here. I could actually let this Elvish Mystic go through, I think, and it would have been less damage because they have 2 drainers. But I feel like they are going to be able to kill me. I don't have any lifelink here. Just keep losing life. Don't mind me. Almost done. Just a few more. Mm-hmm. And the Sling Gang? For lethal. GG, Slimefoot and Squee. Nahiri the Harbinger cheats out Eldrazi? That's, I think, usually what you end up doing with it, right? Yeah, she's a little scary. She can exile things, but more importantly, she's summoning Emrakul and making it swing. Sure, I'll tap your land with my cool skateboard. Yeah, Killian's gonna be such a rad kid. Yeah, they'll be able to hit my enchantments, my tapped artifacts, my tapped creatures. And I do got a tap to attack. They ramped, which means Nahiri can come out this turn and say, get rid of the Overlord.
I never cast the first stone, just the last.
Oh, the Slimefoot and Squee we just played against stopped by in chat. Hello. I played against you once before when I was playing Okaneka How. Oh, that must have been a while ago. Hi, Nahiri. All right, so they're just plussing Nahiri.
Justice won't be tempered.
I guess I can exile her. It's safer than, I don't know, playing Ariette who does nothing. Ariette who can't even have haste. She's not cool enough to wear the skateboard. Put Nahiri in exile. They discarded Anger of the Gods. Oh, I don't think Killian is cool enough to listen to ska. No. Killian had like a very strict upbringing. And his dad was the dean, and I feel like, sure, he got his confidence back, but he's not cool. He's just competent. Okay, so they scryed and revealed the top card of their deck. It was a Clifftop Retreat. Courier is gonna do a cool trick. If they get a land, and they are getting a land, they'll be able to exile Pearl Ear. This is one of the things we were mentioning. We were trying to decide between Skateboard and Lava Spur Boots in this deck. We ended up with Skateboard. Oh no! Oh no, my totally rad skateboard went into a hole. So sad, too bad. Oh, I guess if they bring out Nahiri next turn, they'll be able to activate her twice to get closer to her ult. Okay. I can destroy Urza Symbols the Titans. Or I can get my 6th skateboard. Oh wait, what do I tap? I'm tapping you. You want to use your fountain port? Yeah. Yeah, cool flip. Do a cool flip. Do a kick flip. She's so rad. Just look at her. Yeah, I think that's the reason we went with the skateboard. We already have the ability to tap things off Killian, but we don't have the ability to be super radical. That's it, her plussin' and plussin' again. Plussin' and plussin'. Oh, necromancy. Anybody here need necromancing? No, why not? I like don't have the auras here. I can't even aura farm. Yay, Overlord's a dude again. Okay. I think the play is we necromancy the Overlord and we put skateboard on it. Or we put him on the skateboard? Ugh. Johnny. Prove my worth to my pride. Blah, 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 blah. Prove my worth to my pride. Nobody likes you with Johnny. He'll kill you. You know? Maybe I will. They'll be able to exile this, but like, whatever. I'll have done the thing I care about, which is kill a Johnny.
Cut you down.
Don't cut me down. So they didn't use the minus. They can make another blocker. I'm looking at like what the cheap I don't have any good cheap auras to follow up on. No. Yes. Because I don't have like 2 mana after. Odin at face has to be blocked. Overlord at Nahiri. Does Odin need to be tapped? No, I need to tap their blockers to try to force it through. That's what I was like looking to see if I could find. Because if I had like Killian and then some like super cheap auras, or just cheap enchantments, then I'm able to goad them and tap them. And that would be pretty rad. Oh, okay, they're gone. Oh. Fountain Port can make another fish.
I
Yeah, whatever you say, Nahiri. I gotta stop you from ulting. You know that. Okay. Ooh, a Mox Amber even. Kinda like just going for a fetch land. Since I have, like, stuff in hand that I'm down to play. Mm-hmm. Maximum fixin'. A cool skateboard. And do I want to just kill Nahiri? Or try to? Yeah, I'll do that. I can't. I'm one short.
Your sins won't be forgotten.
So that's actually probably the best spot to have her at, because it means she can't -2 in exile. She can only +2.
My rage cannot be quelled.
Saying hello? Hi. Oh, I'm glad you didn't get another board wipe. I feel I've been board wiped enough, thank you. And then do you want to make more blockers, or do you just want to, like, you know, draw? Okay, they want to draw. Mind Stone! Great! Okay, I'm feeling necromancy. No, not a Johnny. One of these baddies. Because these baddies beget more baddies. And I think I can have lethal damage because Overlord LeBailmerk's gonna do a cool trick. The trick is punch somebody in the face real good. Get him. Yeah! Yeah! Go for it! Oh, they're so rad! And so cool. GG, Nahiri. Aang at the Crossroads. This is the third Aang I've run into. Alright, they're gonna cheat things into play using his Enter the Battlefield ability, and I'm gonna throw auras on things. Isn't that right, Killian? Isn't that right? Mother, protect me. If they use white removal and I have a white aura, though, then the aura would fall off. Surveillin'. I have one aura I could use. Nope. I don't want to land here. If I wanted to set up to draw off Killian next turn, I could put Gaia's Coast form onto this, but I don't want this to be my attacking creature. I need this to protect Killian. Oh no! Killian's gonna cost 5 mana. Alright, well, Killian, you useless. Also, Zizzlix, thank you so much for the sub. Thank you for subscribing and supporting my Twitch channel. If we just, like, screw it, we ball? No. Ooh, a soul herder. Yeah, you blink that Birds of Paradise. Ariette. Not really what I want here. I think I just want to kill the soul herder. It's just such a good blink engine. Pass the turn. Oh, Overlord LeBailmerk? Is that the best creature in my deck, or do you do Odin because it's harder to stop? But I feel like it's very stoppable by specifically Mother of Runes. Yeah, I feel like the creatures in my deck are not that spectacular because they're part of the Auras package. Well, like, we have Baragoyf, we have Overlord of the Baelmerk because they're enchantment creatures. Primal Odin's cool. Boop. Protect. Cool. Ooh, and then if it dies... Hold up. Okay. I'm enchanting their Birds of Paradise. So they'll have to sacrifice Primal Odin. And then next turn I can bring it back. Could I have ghost formed the Odin and then thrown the thing on it? Yes, that should have worked. By the way, no, because it has to be you control. Sorry. It's not you own, it's you control. Had to double check. That is why it does not work. Alright, Necromancy. They are getting double triggers. Gonna kill Aang. And I am gonna throw Kaya's ghost form onto Odin. Which I don't know if that does anything weird stacking with Necromancy, because Necromancy has some kind of absurd phrasing. Hello, Roaming Throne. A Mother of Runes would not be able to make this unblockable to colorless. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If they have a land, they could play this again. Mother of Runes has no bad art. I mean, Mother of Runes has an entire secret lair. That's all bangers. I have that one. Starfall Invocation. Okay. Cool. They're gonna give me a card. Kaya's ghost form, please return Primal Odin to me. I can't pay the ward. That's fine. Okay, do I have any way to break through that? Seeking, searching, searching and seeking. No, but I can do this. And I think that's pretty cool. I love how Killian's like, I cost 2 more mana. I'm useless. Oh, honey, you're fine. You're an excuse to play this deck. If you like the Mother of Runes art, you should also check out Mother of Goons from the Unset with Respect Your Mother on it. They only have 5 mana now because their Birds of Paradise died. Saying good game. Okay, let me just protect Odin just in case. Okay, awesome. I'm going for it. You said good game. Well, that's just rude. It'll die and come back during my next main phase. And kill a creature if they have one. Welcome back, Nick! You think Killian's here to look cool while other people do work for him? Yeah! Okay! Draw 2 cards, they lose 2 life, this dies, there's no creatures here, but it comes back. Okay, awesome. I mean, I'm kind of having fun with the, with this. Oh my god, wait! Because I gave myself protection, the curse is lifted! I'm free! Chat, are you seeing this? I'm finally free. No, I don't want to tap and goad my own stuff, thank you. I'm gonna flash something out, Aang. Wait, was it BM doing the GG interrupt? Yeah, always. Shocking. A vizier of many faces. To become a copy of Odin to destroy Luris. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, that's fine. If they destroy Starfield, then I can't... No, I can still afford the thing I want to do here. I have a very cool chain for next turn. Okay, they're destroying Killian, which means I would have to pay at least 3 to do the thing. Okay, swag. These both work. Alright, so we're gonna play Killian. I'm gonna use Clawing Torment. You cannot block because you have Clawing Torment. You are tapped and goaded. Odin, kill this man! Who needs lethal damage when we have triggered abilities? Haha, got there. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. Killian was killing it. And by which I mean, the deck did fine. This is a deck that actually took me a lot of games and a lot of changes to get it to work pretty well. Because Auras, as you might have noticed, is not the strongest thing in 1v1. In such a removal-heavy format, especially one where it's really hard to stick your commander, sticking any creature and then building up auras on it is always going to be hard, which means that you really have to do your best with really low-cost auras and recursion. In fact, I would say that the reanimation cards, things like Necromancy and Overlord, really overperform in this format because you need to keep bringing things back or you're going to run out of supplies, even while you're drawing cards off Killian and Light Paws, Core of Spirit Dancer, all of these things. I think that this deck, though, worked pretty well. And what I would like to see in this archetype to make it suffer a little less in 1v1 is more protection like the Umbra effects. I feel that being able to prevent your stuff from dying at instant speed is what this deck would really want, but you want it to be on an aura. Having like an instant like Loran's, that's fine, but I feel like you want it to be an aura because this is a sub-theme that's, I'm not gonna say it's that narrow, there's a lot of good support for it, but it's all very specific. The cards that care about auras and enchantments only usually care about auras and enchantments. So yeah, this deck is really cool, and if you liked seeing the way that it played out, I will definitely recommend it. This deck is also, I'll say, medium budget friendly, because many of the auras are actually all commons and uncommons, but a lot of the support cards are unfortunately rares, and they're rares that aren't going to really be played outside of this archetype. So if you craft it, you're crafting essentially also an Ariete deck, which, cool if you like that commander too. They're very, very similar in how you want to play them, even though their abilities kind of work against each other. One of them you want to force them to attack, the other one it says you can't attack. So you have to mess around with those two when you're playing them in conjunction. So the description of the video has the deck list if you want to find it. And if you'd like to suggest a commander for me to brew, please do, especially ones from Marvel superheroes. I'm just going to bring something up really quickly here. We have a lot, too many actually, new commanders coming in Marvel superheroes. Between the main set, the commander set, and even the bonus sheet, we have an absurd number of new commanders. So if there's any of them you want to see, please let me know. There are over 300 of them. So, you know, take your pick. There's a few. We even got new Spider-Mans. You like Spider-Man, right? Of course you do. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.